We're here with the courageous Gaby Pacheco, leader of the DREAM Act movement in Florida. Thank you so much for being with us today, Gaby.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I want to ask you about presidential hopeful Mitt Romney's stance during the weekend regarding the DREAM Act. He said that he would veto the DREAM Act if he were elected.
The question is, if I were elected and Congress were to pass the DREAM Act, would I veto it? And the answer is yes.
What was your reaction when you heard these news?
Well, we were very dismayed. I remember somebody sending it to me and saying, Gabby, did you see this? Did you see what Romney said, that he would veto the DREAM Act? And to me, I was also confused. I was confused because Romney came and sought the support of congressional leaders here in Florida who are not just co-sponsors of the DREAM Act, but Ileana Roussel and Congresswoman Ileana Roussel, she is the one that has been taking that flag for us. And so I thought that it was very odd that he is against something that Republicans here, congressional Republicans here in Florida, are the ones putting that bill forward in the legislature.
And what actions did you take, specifically your group?
Well, Dreamers all across the U.S., we wrote a letter, and this letter is an open letter to Romney asking him to clarify what he meant when he said that he would veto the DREAM Act. In 2007, before he was a presidential candidate in 2008, he supported legislation that both had the DREAM Act and immigration reform. So we want to know specifically what he means, and we're giving him an opportunity and a chance to clarify why he said that he would veto this legislation.
What would that mean for Latino voters if he does win the nomination, which is very probable at this point?
Right. If he wins the nomination, we know that 91% of Latinos actually support the DREAM Act. And we know that we are the fastest growing voters in the country. And we know that for him, in order to get the Latino vote, he's going to have to do a lot more, and he cannot be against the DREAM Act.
Now, if he does win the nomination, what would that mean for Latino support for President Obama? He's been highly criticized for not, taking on immigration reform during his first administration. Will that make Latinos flock toward the Obama camp?
Well, we know that Latinos right now are very upset both with President Obama because of all the deportations, but we also know that Latinos are not going to vote for an anti-immigrant candidate. And so they're going to have to vote for the better presidential candidate and the one that's really going to deliver on the Latino issues. And we know immigration is number one or one of the top ones.
If Mitt Romney is indeed, and this is my final question, the Republican nominee, what would that mean if he does win the White House for the DREAM Act movement? Will that mean that you will focus more on state-based laws, or would that mean that you would focus more on federal reform?
Yes, actually, indeed, we already are focusing more on in-state laws. It's in places like the state of Florida, this is the #1 issue, and they're going to be taking this to the legislature. We already have 15 states that have in-state tuition laws all across the country, and we're hoping that we could spread that throughout the country. And if we don't have the DREAM Act, at least we have students whose dream, all their dreams is to be able to go to college, be able to have that opportunity.
You never stop dreaming. Thank you so much, Gabby, and we'll continue monitoring this electoral contest and how it will affect immigration, an issue of great importance to our audience.